Given this importance, Sanjiv, did Unilever need to up its royalty from 2.65 to 3.45% as it did lately? Because even shareholders of yours, well-wishers of yours, were a little taken aback by that move. Is there solid justification from a business point of view, keeping your minority shareholders in India in mind, whether that move was necessary?
I'm glad then you raised this question because let me put this question and let me answer that with the perspective that we have. The royalty and service fee payments, if we look at it, there are two components to it. One is the trademark and the technology fees, and the second is the service fees. Yeah, in India, we have, if you take our Bangalore R&D center, we have over 700 scientists over there and over 100 PhDs. They do cutting edge research work. And a large part of that work is for the benefit of Indian consumers. And that cost, Udayan, we don't absorb. That cost goes back to Unilever and comes back to HUL as part of brand royalty or technology fees. Now, trademark royalty enables us to get the best possible Unilever brands from the repertoire of brands that they have at the most opportune time for the benefit of the Indian consumers. So this is one part. And this was the total was about 1.65% and which has now been raised to 1.95%. I'll talk about how we did the benchmarking, etc. The second part is the service fees. Now, Unilever is a big corporation, about 60 billion euros. So it has a large scale global footprint. And say, let me give you an example. Say procurement, for instance. We get a huge benefit because of Unilever's scale. And so a large part of a global negotiation on behalf of HUL with global suppliers is done by Unilever. We get a huge benefit out of it. Similarly, when you look at leading edge practices, be it in supply chain, be it in marketing, all those which Unilever develops globally, we have access to it. Now, if we do not incur those service fees, then we would have had to set up an organization in India to incur those costs, and we would still not get the competitive edge that we get as being part of Unilever. And even when you add all these expenses, our overhead costs are one of the most competitive in the industry. In fact, it would be one of the most competitive in the world amongst global corporations of our size. Yeah. So what being part of Unilever gives us immense competitive edge. So many people don't understand the business model of how R&D is done. Many times then people ask me a question that why is it that HUL's R&D expenses are so low? And the reason is very simple. Because we have 3 R&D labs in India who do great work, and those costs come back to us as technology fees. Now, only when you add that up, then you will realize that the total R&D cost that we incur is comparable to the benchmark or the peer set. So what important bit is we as management do is we don't look at it just from the lens of the majority shareholder. Our job is to protect the interests of all shareholders. And what we have done is first ensure that we get value for the money spent. The second is we had a Big Four firm go through the due diligence to ensure that what we are talking about and the contract that we have entered into with HUL, with Unilever, is right, appropriate, and at arm's length. The third is if you look at it from a benchmarking perspective, we would be a median or lower compared to a peer set when it comes to these kind of expenses. So they are certainly expenses which allow us to win, which provide us with the capabilities that we need to win. It gives us the competitive edge. It gives us the product superiority. It enables us to bring great innovative products for the benefit of the Indian consumers. And most importantly, it enables us to win in the marketplace. So I firmly believe that these expenses then are not just in the interest of the majority shareholders, they are in the interest of all shareholders.
Okay. Fair answer, Sanjeev. But the question which, even if people who buy your argument may ask that, the point that you make about peer comparisons and benchmarking, what if, given HUL's growing profitability and growing dominance to the group, at some point the Unilever management chooses to bridge the gap with its peers in terms of royalty payments? They say, no, 3.45% is too low. HUL is our cash cow. Maybe we bring it up to 5%, like many of the India multinationals charge their Indian company, Indian subsidiary. Is that a possibility in the years to come?
That's very hypothetical, Udayan. Let me explain the process that we go through. First is we have a great set of independent directors, and each one of them, in their own right, are people with huge stature, reputation, and then we go through the complete due diligence. Yeah, we ensure, our total, if you look at it, brand royalty and technology fees is even under the revised contract is going to be 1.95%. It's far away from 5%. Yeah, service fees is something which Unilever does on our behalf. If they don't do it, we would have had to incur that cost. So service fees is different. Yeah, brand royalty at 1.95% for the kind of research we do, for the kind of products we do, for the kind of categories we create, and the innovation that we bring for the benefit of the Indian consumers. I think that's a great value for us. So I would not be concerned at all. The other thing then I would also tell you is that 10 years back when I'd come in, this time around the royalty increase and service fees increase is just about 80 bips spread over 3 years. Yeah. Last time it had gone up with much more. It was in the vicinity of 135 bips. Now, despite this increase, we improved our operating margin by 1,000 bips in the last 10 years. And we have strengthened our business. We have increased our market shares. And today, the business is far more stronger than what it was 10 years back. So we get the value for the money spent. So I wouldn't be concerned at all whether we are getting value for this or not.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.